what you could do as a photographer starter pack, Whitney. So this would be kind of the top 5 things that you need as a photographer, especially if you don't have a big budget, and what websites you could visit to see what their Black Friday deals are to get you there. Hey, Photo BFFs, and welcome to another episode of the Edit Weekly. I am Amanda from Seattle.
And I'm Whitney from Minneapolis.
And it is that time of year again. The inbox is full of sales, and it's so tempting to click buy now. But for photographers, some deals are actually worth waiting for, and others just drain your budget. So today's episode, we're sharing how to plan your purchases, which deals are actually worth it, and how to use this season to set yourself up for success next year. Because the goal isn't just saving money, it's spending it wisely. So, Whitney, we recorded an episode last year that I encourage everybody to go back and listen to. It talks a lot about how I've used Black Friday deals pretty much the entire life of my business to stock up on things that I need for the year.
Such a good episode.
Yes. And we are not going to go totally into that because we already covered it last year. So if you would like to hear all about how I saved over $500 on the new camera I was getting, or about how I basically stock up on supplies for the year, go back and watch that episode because it's got some really amazing info. But this year we wanted to offer something a little bit different. We want to talk about 4 tips for a successful Black Friday / Cyber Monday, since a lot of times retailers kind of jumble those two together. A lot of times they'll make it like a whole week-long sale or that like long weekend. Some retailers just call it their holiday sale and have it all the way through December. So this is kind of my top 4 tips for what to do to make it work for you and your business.
And I want to add in here that you are so good at this, Amanda, which you will hear us talking about this in the other episode, but she is very smart with her planning in this. So Amanda, like, you are just really smart in how you do this and in saving money. And I admire it, and I am not the best at it. So I just want everyone to know that you can really trust what she's saying. And I'm excited to hear more of your tips because I need a refresher.
There we go. Perfect. Well, good. I'm glad I can share these today. I just am somebody who from a young age was taught really how to be smart with my money. And I feel very fortunate that that was one of the things that was really kind of drilled into me. It served me well before I started a business, but I feel like it has served me even more since I've had a business. It's really forced me to look at my budget, to allot money for different categories in my business, and to really make me decipher what my needs are versus my wants. And I feel like in business, there's so many wants. Like there's, I really want a 85 prime lens. Like I want it so bad, but it hasn't been in my budget for the last 2 years. So I go rent it when I want to use it. So I can't own it yet. And even this year is another example where I don't have the budget for it. I have other places my money needs to go. So as much as I really, really want it, and I do, I just go rent it when I would like to use it for a session. Okay, so that kind of actually leads perfectly into my first tip, which is know what your budget is and don't spend beyond your means just because it's like a good deal. This is, to me, really important.
It's so hard.
I know, right? It can be so hard. There's this whole amazing SNL sketch that my husband and I always joke about where it's like, oh, I want this. I just buy it with a credit card. Like, no, that's not how that works.
Yeah.
Okay, so I buy it now and I deal with the consequences later. Like, no, don't do that. So it's this amazing SNL sketch. I really love it. But that's what I think about a lot. It's important to know what your budget is. When you're first starting out, your budget's probably not very big. And it can be really tempting to just want to go buy all of the fancy, fun things. But that's not really what's going to best work for your business necessarily. It may if you really need these certain things. And that leads into number 2, know what you need and only buy those items. So, you may not have a big budget, but you need a camera. Let's find a way for you to get that camera that's not going to be spending beyond your means. Let's figure out a way for you to get some really great deals, or to find a company or a retailer that has it for a better price than somebody else. So there's ways that you can work with those two, your budget and your needs. Um, Number 3 for me, this is a really big one, is use an app like Rakuten to get cash back for purchases you were already going to be making anyway. This to me is just like you get free money. It's kind of how I think of it. I was going to buy this stuff anyway. I can go onto the app and see which stores are offering the cameras I want, the lenses I want, the camera bags, laptops, you name it. And I can see which retailers are offering the most cash back. In last year's episode, I talked about how I used it to get my Canon R6 mirrorless. And I used it in a really smart way in order to save a lot of money. So to me, this is a really big one. It is free to sign up for these. You can actually get $30 added to your account if you use our link from the edit. So we'll go ahead and put that in the show notes. You have to make a qualifying purchase in order to get that, but then you'll get $30 added on to your account. Rakuten sends you a cashback check every quarter, so you do have to wait in order to get your cash back, but you will get it back. And number 4 is using a rewards credit card. So most retailers are going to be accepting credit cards anyway. Actually, a lot of places don't even take cash now. So credit card is going to be the way to go. And if you have a rewards credit card, you can either get cash back from that. You can use that towards points. Maybe you've got I've got the Chase credit card suite, basically. I've got it for my business. And then we have it in our personal lives as well. So we can transfer our points back and forth. We can redeem them for travel. We can redeem them for certain purchases. You can buy gift cards with them too at a discounted rate. So there's a lot of things you can do with the rewards credit card. And again, like the rewards one I have through Chase doesn't have an annual fee. So I'm not paying anything extra for that. But I'm taking advantage of the fact that I can use this card to pay for what I was already going to buy and get points or cash back. So to me, those are the biggest 4 tips. And they have served me well over the life of my business. So
I think those are great. And I think too, it's important with the credit card. So I'll talk more about this. I just recently made a fairly big purchase of a new camera and a couple new lenses. And I actually used Adorama's, they can give you credit.
Oh, that's awesome.
So you don't have to pay for a while. And the reason I did that, I made sure I have this cash. So this one isn't a rewards card, but I have this cash and it is sitting in a high interest savings that I'm like letting that sit and until I pay this off. Now, this is one of those things where you have to, like, if I actually don't pay it off on time, then you get charged their high interest on everything.
Yes.
So I went ahead and set up a monthly payment so that everything's paid off, but I'm earning this interest on there.
That's awesome.
So that's one way, but also I've done stuff with a rewards card like you. But again, I make sure that I have the cash or it's not worth it.
Yes, that I feel like is you know your budget. You have that money set aside in your bank account to then pay off your credit card on time. That way you don't have to pay the interest fees attached to that. Because then you're right, you're not saving any money at all for using. I mean, I don't know what the interest fee is for my card, but I've got to imagine it's like in the 20% somewhere.
Yeah.
So
that's
so at that point you're not actually saving any money. You're probably spending more than you would be anyway. So yes, have enough in your account to be able to pay off that credit card so that it's worth it for you to take advantage of the sale. And again, if you don't have the budget to spend on that, please don't spend it. We are definitely wanting to make sure that you can succeed, and getting yourself into debt is not the way to do that. So I want to talk about like what you could do as a photographer starter pack. Whitney. So this would be kind of the top 5 things that you need as a photographer. Especially if you don't have a big budget. I kind of want to go 2 routes. I want to go the starter pack where you're not starting with a large budget, but kind of the top 5 things that I feel like you need in order to start your business, and what websites you could visit to see what their Black Friday deals are to get you there. I do want to say that this episode will be going live the week of Black Friday. We're recording this before that week. So a lot of these companies have not actually announced what their Black Friday deals are yet. So we are going to have a blog post that we'll link to in our newsletter. So please subscribe to our newsletter if you haven't already, so that you get that blog post. And we will update that blog post with the deals once all of the different companies announce what they are. So before I jump into where I would go if I had a small budget to spend and what retailers I might visit, you, Whitney, when we were talking before the show started, had a really amazing idea for those who really don't have a lot of money to spend. And I want you to talk about that before we get into where you can spend your money.
Yes. So I shoot OM, which is formerly Olympus, and I could do a whole episode on why I went this way. I used to be Canon, I had everything. I just love them. One of the reasons I switched to the OM system, and when I first switched was Olympus, it's actually very budget friendly. It's such a great starter camera, especially what I was using it for. This is when I stopped doing weddings. I did actually shoot some weddings with this, and it was great. I bought my camera used, and I bought this camera in like 2018. And now, 2025, I was like, I really think I can upgrade my camera. And they now have some amazing new cameras that we can use that are really great for outdoor photography and just some really neat things that I think would be really useful. But with that said, I decided to buy used. And I've almost always bought used cameras. And this is because any camera within the last like 5 years is going to be fine. And honestly, any camera within the last 10 years is usable. And if you're starting out, just getting a very basic used camera, you're still going to be able to take great images. You're going to be able to practice. You'll be able to do family sessions. When you hear people say you have to have a double card slot or you need this many megapixels, we've done an episode where I used to print on canvas 30 by 40 images with an 8 megapixel camera. And they were fine. Like they looked beautiful. They still look beautiful. I wouldn't suggest that right now to do, but you can actually do a lot. And if you're starting out, go the used route. I've used KEH and it's a great site. This year I did Adorama used and I ended up, I think almost all of my lenses I ended up getting were the average. So they'll grade them like average, excellent. With Adorama, you can get insurance on it. I didn't end up doing that. So the average lenses were great. Like I was looking at it like, why is this average? So I just, I don't do, they have some really cheap where you might have fungus in your lens. You don't want that.
Don't want those ones. No. I feel like because it's usually average, good, and excellent, I think are the typically the three.
And
that
they have like excellent plus or like
wow,
new.
okay.
Yeah. And there's still good deals. It's a beautiful lens. I literally don't know why all of them were average. So I did that. They actually have cash back through Rakuten. Amanda is very good at helping me pronounce that because their kids are in Japanese classes.
My kids speak Japanese, and so they told me it was a Japanese word, and they helped me learn how to pronounce it correctly.
Yep. So from everything I purchased, it was a new body that was maybe 3 or 4 years old, like a professional body, some maybe 3 professional lenses, or maybe 2. Anyway, it was under $3,000.
Wow.
And I got like $60, almost $70 cash back from this. Yeah, it was great. And $3,000 was like, you can do it for way less than $3,000 to get these. So I was upgrading lenses. I was getting pro lenses. I used to just have this little starter pack that I still did fine with and shot weddings with. So mine was just a little upgrade. And if you're getting started right now and you're new and you don't have a budget, definitely go used. And you can buy used locally as well.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be through this.
Yes.
I do suggest buying through a camera company. I know some people will buy through Facebook Marketplace. I like to know that they've been tested, professionally tested and everything.
Yes.
So I would suggest going through a company. B&H has a used department.
B&H is great too.
So
yeah, and a lot of the actual like Canon, Nikon, they have their own used sections as well on their websites. And same thing, they've already been looked at by the professionals that work for those companies as well. I definitely agree with you on that one. Unless you have no budget and you really do need to go onto Facebook Marketplace to get any sort of camera for literally as cheap or inexpensive as possible, you do definitely want to go through a camera company to really like just CYA. So you got to protect yourself and make sure that what you're getting is going to work for you. Because again, it's not a deal if you spent $2,000 and it craps out on you after a couple of months and there's no warranty or there's no safety net for that. I know you said you didn't buy insurance, but a lot of the times, like I bought my refurbished camera through Canon and they still had like a window of time where if it crapped out during that time, you could send it back to them and they would either replace it for you or fix it for you. So to be able to have that protection,
and there is that
really
window.
Important.
Yes, there is that window of time in what I bought. So that's
awesome.
I just didn't do the extra, but you could do like 4 years insurance.
Yeah.
I just chose not to because I don't use it. I won't be using it enough like every single day for it to be worth
to have
it.
it make sense. Not totally. And actually, that's a way to save some money too. If you are feeling pretty confident about that, is to not buy the extra insurance. I love that. And yes, buying locally, we're going to talk about that a little bit more.
Yes.
Next. So actually, after we talk about the like big box places, if you will, that I would go where if I didn't have a big budget, but I did have a budget, I am going to say that while we do promote shopping local as much as possible and small businesses, we recognize that when you're starting out, it's these big box retailers, the big names, they're going to offer the best deals because they can afford to offer the best deals. So going from purely a money mindset, if you're just starting out in your business, I kind of lumped 5 different things that you would need. Number 1, you need a computer. So checking out places like Dell, HP, and Apple will be really great. You go to their websites, they'll usually have the Black Friday deals scrolling at the top. You can also sign up to receive newsletters from a lot of these companies, and they will directly market to you and send you the Black Friday deals once they're live. May not be the best way if you don't want to deal with a lot of emails this coming week for Black Friday, but it does get you direct access to those deals and links to go to. There was one year that Apple had like a big flash sale where they had $1,000 off one of their laptops that they were offering. So I do know that these can be really great ways to save money and still get something that you need. Okay, so that's my number 1 is camera or computer. Number 2 is going to be the camera bundle, where camera, lens, camera bag, memory card, and batteries. Kind of those 5 things to me all would go into your camera bag. So checking out direct retailers like Canon, Nikon, Sony, those big brands are great. They will give you a ton of very specific options for their brands. Sometimes they can offer you even better deals because it's their company. They own all of these different cameras and lenses. They know when they're going to be putting out their newest lens, so they know that they can discount some of their older ones. So you might get your best deal through the direct camera company. Whitney, used Adorama, another great one. I have used them to buy lighting equipment, but they do have all the camera bags and everything and lenses and all that stuff. B&H Photo is another company that I have used many times, and they are really, really great. And usually Rakuten does have deals through all of these big brands.
Yes. And I just remembered this. Adorama, if you are a student, they have a special discount program, or a teacher that you can sign up for. And they have a rewards program, but specifically the student and teacher, you can sign up and you get even larger discounts on what you purchase. So if you're a student, I cannot remember if they'll give you extra off of used equipment, which I can go look that up and we'll put it in the notes whether they do.
The show notes.
Yes. So
that is a really great point.
That actually reminded me when you were talking. I was like, oh yeah, we've got that one.
Yes,
which was great.
Adobe does the same thing, which is actually my next category. So my next category is culling and editing software. So a lot of photographers use the Adobe Suite products, Adobe Creative products. So they always have student and teacher discounts. So if you are a student, if you are a teacher, definitely go check out what their discounts are. They have them year round for that. And then with Black Friday and Cyber Monday, they have different additional deals that you can get. I think right now they've kind of hinted that they're going to have about a 50% off sale for their, I don't know which specific suite it is or which program it is. I know that they have a few different types. Like I only have the bundle that has Photoshop and Lightroom, because those are the only two products that I use and need. So I didn't have to get everything else. And speaking of that, knowing what you need is going to be really important, because maybe you do get 50% off the entire Adobe like suite, every single thing they own. But if you don't need all those and it's more expensive in the long run to get the big bundle, then that's not actually saving you money. If you really do find that all you need is Photoshop and Lightroom, see what that package is, because likely it's going to be less than getting the whole everything with the 50% off. I do also want to say that a lot of times with the culling and editing software, the bundle price that you pay that's discounted really does only last for the first year. Unless you are a student or a teacher, which those ones are year round.
Or even sometimes several months.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's a good way to try it out.
Exactly. Yeah. Great way to try it out. But do be prepared when your year ends.
Yes.
You will likely have to be bumped up to the next price point. But that's something to keep just in the back of your head about that one. Okay, so for a next thing that you would need as like a minimum to start your business would be website and hosting, because you got to have a spot to put your portfolio and you have to have a place to host it. So for the two that I was thinking of, Squarespace and Showit, both of them in the past have had really great deals for your new subscription. Again, this is another one where it's not typically benefiting people that already have an account, but if you sign up with a new account, a lot of times they have really great deals for your first year. So definitely check out those two options. And then the last one is online galleries. So this would be a place to, if you're going to be a shoot and burn photographer to start, this is a great spot, because then you can put all of your images there for your clients to download. If you're going to go the print and product route, this is a great place to be able to put your clients' galleries so they can proof everything before you have your ordering appointment with them. And my top recommendations for this are Pixieset, Shootproof, and CloudSpot. I've had successful interactions with all three of those companies for different things. And Pixieset just started kind of basically a mini CRM as well. So you can kind of get double dip in there and try to test out what a CRM would be like for your business. I don't think a CRM needs to belong in your starter pack if you're just trying to get the bare minimum to start your business. But the fact that Pixieset offers like a mini CRM within their galleries, that's a really great way to not have to pay any extra and still get the benefits of having a CRM and seeing how helpful that can be. And maybe that's what you budget for next year. You decide, oh, this really is good. I want to get like a full CRM. You can look into that over the course of next year and figure out how much money you need to budget for next year in order to take advantage of maybe the Black Friday sale next year.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So all that being said, I really do want to encourage, if you have the budget to do it, to shop local and to support small businesses this Black Friday, Cyber Monday, if you can. Those are the people that are really going to benefit the most from your dollars. I think about in the Seattle area, we're lucky to have two really great camera shops. Glazier's and Kenmore Camera are both great. They both typically have a either Black Friday sale or a holiday sale that extends into December. There's a great chance that you can actually talk to somebody and ask questions when you go in and not just be buying something or trying to do the research online yourself. A lot of times I know that Kenmore Camera in our area has actual reps from the different companies in on certain days. So you can talk directly to somebody who works at Canon or who works at Nikon, and they can help you decide maybe what is going to be best for you and put you in the right direction for what it is you need for your business. We have had some amazing people on our program, haven't we, Whitney?
Yes.
And Bria Turner is going to have a Black Friday sale where she's going to bundle all of her education programs. We will link to that. Aubrey Westland, who was just on for stock photography, she said she is going to offer her biggest Black Friday sale, and we have the link for that you'll be able to access. Rachel Brinke over at the Law Tog, amazing. Contracts are like such an important part of this industry. And they typically run a Black Friday sale as well. So we'll link to all of those. These are the people that will see your purchase come in and feel the benefits in a way that big box companies can't. And I understand that typically small businesses and local businesses charge more. So if you have the budget to shop these retailers, I really encourage you to. I think about how lucky I am that I've had all the clients who have trusted me over the years and spend their money with me, how they buy their holiday cards with me, even though it costs more from me to get their, 100 holiday cards than it would be if they were to go to just an online company and purchase them. But I see that money. It benefits my family. And it means so much to me to be able to have that. So you're making somebody else's day when you can spend your money in these ways. I just really try to take that to heart because I know so much emphasis around Black Friday is to, buy, spend, spend, spend. And if you can do that with somebody who's going to feel the effects more than somebody else, please do.
And I think too, I mean, with the people that we've had on, they're educators, and that is a really important investment. It's not something you're touching every day or you're like physically using all the time, but this education is what's going to help you build your business. It is what's going to help you make more money so that you don't have to be as tight. I don't know if that's the word, tight, or
I mean, exactly,
stressed
frugal
on everything.
Yeah.
Yes, because when you're investing in your education, you're getting better. You are learning more. You're able to charge more. All of this is going to really, really help your business. And so that is a really important investment that you can make.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it's so amazing that these amazing professionals have shared these links with us and are offering these deals for all of you. I just am so thankful that we have such amazing people in our lives who have been able to come on and to help us all to improve our businesses. Just so, and like I said, in so many ways that are really going to truly change how we do business, how much money we can make, and how successful our businesses become over the years. And when you're first starting out, I think that there's so much kind of mud and muck to go through that first year. It can be hard to think oh, I need that education. I'm going to spend a little bit in order to get that education. But it really does. There are certain parts of your business that I think when you're starting out, you have a hard time kind of grasping a hold of. For me, it was figuring out my cost of doing business. And I ended up doing a whole workshop with Chris Scott at, why am I blanking on the name now? Swift Galleries. There we go.
Oh,
Chris Scott over at Swift Galleries.
Yeah.
They he offered a whole thing about that, and so investing my money and my time to do that made it so that I actually saw how little I was making at the end of the day once I factored in all my costs of doing business, and so paying the amount I did for that education benefited my business in so many ways. I was able to raise my prices because I truly understood what it was going to cost me to run my business. And I don't think I would have gotten there as quickly had I not invested the money in that and the time. So really, definitely the education component is super important when you're starting your business.
Absolutely.
Okay. So that kind of wraps it up for 2025's Black Friday. I don't know if we topped 2024's Black Friday episode, but I'm feeling pretty good about this one.
It was great, Amanda. Oh, yes. I loved it. And I love the starter kit. And we will have that written down so you can go and look at it just to say, okay, these are the things that I need that are necessary to get me started. And one of the reasons that I love doing this is I think everyone should have the opportunity to be an entrepreneur, to start a business, to be a photographer, to be an artist, if it's something they want to do. And photography actually used to be, there was such a barrier to get into photography because of cost. It was huge, just even paying for film, developing it because of for women, for how male dominated it was. It did make it harder. I experienced that when I started over 20 years ago. But now with things so much more accessible for people to be able to develop their skills, even if they don't have a budget, I think there are a lot of people that will complain about, oh, anyone can take a photo with their phone now. It's becoming so accessible. And I say, yes, that's amazing because we're able to get cameras in the hands of people that maybe could not have afforded it before. And they are able to practice their skills, and we're able to see talent that we didn't see before from people we weren't able to choose this as a career.
Yeah.
So that's why we love doing this. And we want to see you because we believe that you can learn. Photography is a skill. I think everyone is an artist. Everyone has a creative spirit inside of them. And sometimes we just need people to remind them that it's there. And I'm here saying it's there. You have it. So I'm so passionate about it. But
yes, no, it's
yeah,
great.
and we would love to hear from you. Like if you're starting and you're like maybe even feeling any doubt, reach out to us and we'll cheer you on.
Whitney will cheer you on like nobody else can. She does that for me all the time. So her texts are like heartwarming every single time.
Same from you, Amanda. Oh my gosh.
Yes, Whitney's like such a good champion for everybody in our industry. And so thank you, Whitney, for that. But yes, thank you. Speaking of thank yous, thank you everyone for tuning in yet again. We are so thankful to have you here in our audience. I just saw that our subscribers went up by 5 people since the last time I checked over on YouTube. So that is amazing. Thank you so much to everybody who has clicked that subscribe button. If you haven't yet, please do. Please pass along this information to any of your photography friends that you think would also benefit from having 2 people in your corner when you're starting your business. Or even, I still find our episodes helpful, and I've had my business for over 20 years. So, any seasoned pro who just wants 2 other photographers in your corner, like and subscribe. It really does mean the world to us, and it helps us to grow our audience and be able to keep making episodes like this. So thank you for tuning in again for our 2025 Black Friday episode. Post in the comments what is on your Black Friday wish list, because we would love to be able to hear about it. And if you've already scored a Black Friday deal, let us know and share with everybody else, because what you purchased, somebody else might be looking for too. So thank you again for joining us, and we will see you for our newest episode on the Edit Weekly. Bye.
All right, bye.
The end.
Okay, Photo BFFs, if you have not subscribed, do that right now so you never miss a new episode. You can also find us at theeditweekly.com, where we have free resources and downloads for you to help grow your photo business.